We are moving on to Henry Cavill news because we stand as much as you stand for Disney. I stand hard for Henry Cavill.
Who told you I stand for Disney?
I
Please
say
do not look at my bags.
That is my personal observation of your behavior that you stand for Disney, but we stand together for Henry Cavill.
Yep.
Because Henry Cavill is the man. So he impresses me more and more, like with every interview that he does. In a lot of ways, like it feels like every time he talks, he's got like a booklet of like just the right things to say in current year. Where like every other celebrity is saying this, I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna come off really, really well.
Oh, wait, or is it just you like staring into his deep eyes?
It wouldn't be his eyes; it would be that strong chin and those,
or that fake mustache
or the
that's
shoulders.
CGI'd off.
The CGI mustache. Hey. I was fine with it, okay? Like, what I thought was weirdest about that, going off topic slightly, was when they showed that, couldn't they have easily, like, what they should have done instead is put, like an Instagram filter over him and have it pretend like the mustache was done by like, an Instagram filter by whoever was filming him. God. And that explains why the mustache is there.
Well, like, also... How would you take that serious if he's like punching
Not to mention
Batman?
That scene wasn't that important. It was just that scene where he says, I'm also a big fan of justice. They could have just cut it.
Justice.
Well, I'm saying that scene caused them months of undue grief. Worse than Martha. Worse, okay, maybe not as bad as Martha.
I thought that was funny.
But like for all the grief that bad CGI scene cost them, why not just cut that scene? It wasn't important.
It has an importance. What about the Snyder Cut?
I love the Snyder Cut.
I know, but like
all gazillion hours of it. Let's get to the article.
You didn't even answer my question. Do you think in the Snyder Cut there was a reason for it?
They don't have the mustache. It's completely gone from the Snyder Cut. There is no mustache in the Snyder Cut.
That's pooey.
Well, it's because Snyder was smart. So it says Henry Cavill would, quote, love to be cast in the reported Mass Effect Amazon series. And then it says right below that Season 2 of The Witcher will debut on Netflix on December 17th. We will start that as well.
Soon.
Yep. We'll review that on here maybe.
We can do that, like review Hawkeye and then review The Witcher.
Maybe do
this is us doing another work meeting within the podcast.
Do a couple of episodes at a time. It's heavier material though. Like to me, it's heavier material than like Hawkeye is just very bathtub television boring.
But come on, you didn't like that scene where she summons people to clap?
Okay, so in the article it says, in a new interview, actor Henry Cavill from The Witcher has expressed potential interest in being cast as the recently revealed Mass Effect adaptation that is nearing a deal at Amazon Studios. Speaking with Games Radar, Cavill revealed that he, quote, loved the original series and thinks that they are, quote, brilliant games. It all depends on how they're executing it, said Cavill. The world of adaptation can be heavy or light. When I like a product, I prefer the adaptation to be less changed from the source. So it all depends, quote, and then it says depends. If the series finds a home, I would love to have a conversation. Like, this dude is single-handedly, like, the entire, like, every man of entertainment, all us fans. He's, like, our savior and guardian right now.
Yeah.
It's freaking awesome. It says... let's see. In November, it was reported that Amazon Studios was nearing a deal to make a TV series based on BioWare's popular video game series Mass Effect. Unfortunately, all that's known at this stage is the quoted phrase, it's still early days and nothing is confirmed at this point. So it's early, they don't have anything really figured out as far as like what they're doing with it.
Yeah.
But it says, however, the notion is not without merit, as Amazon is also producing a Fallout TV show with Westworld's Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy. That could be good because I freaking love Jonathan Nolan. I love Westworld Season 1. I am less enamored with Season 2. I love his show Person of Interest, which is my favorite television show of all time. So if he's doing a Fallout TV show, I would at the very least be willing to check it out.
Wait, it's a live action, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what they mean by that, live action.
Okay, if it's live action, I think they could do it. But if it's animations, I kind of want to see how it would play out. Because, like, if they're doing animation, it kind of reminds me of how The Witcher... the animation like movie that we were watching.
I didn't finish it.
Do you want to finish it later?
I didn't. The show is visually more interesting to me. The animation just didn't hold my interest.
I like the animation because like the violence in the beginning, I was like, yes, more blood.
But to me, like the gratuitous nature of like the television show, like what was it? We were watching the episode 3 again, but like the amount of blood and the dark tone to the actual lighting in the live action holds my interest better. That's personal preference. Like I have a much harder time watching animated movies. Like the last one that I really loved, if I'm being completely honest, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie.
Oh, that one's cute because everybody like transform into animals.
Yeah.
Like the Joker was a cobra, Harley Quinn was a hyena.
Hyena. Yeah, I love that.
Who else was in there?
Oh,
Mr. Freeze was a polar bear.
Yep. That was the last animated movie that I took the time to watch and then rewatched. Like, but I've been busy. Like, I just
That's
don't
true.
have the.
We both got busier like ever since like joining the show.
But for a lot of things is like with something like that, I look for rewatchability, meaning like I can like something, but I can love something, but it doesn't necessarily mean I want to rewatch it. Like there's a lot of movies like when we were here yesterday talking with Chris, we talked about the movie Heat. And I said that movie is both a rare example of something that I believe is both a cinematic classic, but also has high rewatchability for me, meaning that I can put it on a couple of times a year and be completely enamored with it. Very little in the way of media these days does that for me. Most of it feels very disposable to me.
Yeah, I try to like rewatch a couple of things. I think like what's really rewatchable is like the new Mickey Mouse shorts.
So we are so different. It's so funny how different we are. I'm talking about like a Michael Mann crime noir thriller from like 1995, and you're like, I love Mickey Mouse shorts.
I love them.
Again, more proof that you just want to shill for Disney, woman.
No, I love them because like it has the esque of like old Mickey Mouse, but it's actually new. Like there's an episode, Nostalgia Critic talked about it. It was like a Halloween.
I think you just have the hots for Nostalgia Critic.
Yeah, that bald head.
I think that's your thing.
That bald head and bow tie.
Bow tie.
I don't know where the bow tie came from. I mean, bald head and that tie. Yum.
Yep. Very. Yeah.
Yum.
I watched his review, like the reviews of Underworld recently. I love.
Well, okay. Well, for me, why I brought it up is because there was a Halloween episode where it's the new animations of Mickey Mouse, and like it has like that old feeling of old cartoons where they can mentally like screw you up, but it's like still enjoyable.
Yeah.
I love watching it. I just watched it today too. This is like my I think 6th time for watching it.
That's rare to find something that you can watch. How long are they?
They're like only 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's good too.
Like I think 5 to 10 minutes.
Anything short in this day and age, I feel like does better. Like,
yeah.
The attention span of the average person is like when we were watching Hellbound. Those episodes were about 40 to 50 minutes, right?
Yeah, you have to be really into this story.
You have to be committed to it. Like the Hawkeye episodes are about 45 minutes, and those pass by relatively fast. But if they were longer than that, they might drag. Like
they might, because like still like this is what I don't like about the Hawkeye series is like they don't talk about the character. We don't know anything about this character that much. And like all of a sudden
we'll
he's
get
like
into it. We'll get into it when we get into
Go
it.
ahead.
But in general, like the shorter things are these days, the better. Like weirdly enough, movies are in a way a shorter time commitment. So it's easier to commit to watch an hour and 35-minute movie than it is to watch
a 4-hour movie.
Well, to watch 8 episodes of a show that are all an hour each or 45 minutes each.
But come on, like a lot of people committed to Game of Thrones until the last season.
That's true, but the world has changed since. I mean, in general, people are like. First of all, that's not a show you want to watch on your phone. It's not a show you want to watch on a small screen. That's something that's made to be watched on a large like a movie. I mean, those episodes had movie-sized budgets.
I loved that TV show, but then like as everybody's saying, like the last season kind of disappointed.
I don't know. I knew a couple people who liked the last season. I didn't care for it. But
well,
I wasn't very enamored with the books, so I don't have the same. I understand why people who don't care about the books don't have the same connection to the source material. Like I said, I'm a visual person, so books. I liked Harry Potter. I liked Lord of the Rings, but in general, I don't read as many of the adaptations as a lot of other people do, just because of being dyslexic. So for me, it's easier for me to watch something and give it leeway when I don't care as much about the source material. But that doesn't mean I don't understand why people who are rabid fans of the source material, I understand why they get angry.
Well, like, it's not even
Henry Cavill. That's Henry Cavill.
Well, like, for me, like, I feel like it was bad because it already went downhill. Like, Daenerys, yeah, that's her name.
Yep.
Like, basically, she just went mad with power, and they don't explain how.
It didn't really make sense.
Yeah, so that's the reasoning for me why I said the last season was terrible, because, like, there's no explanation to it. But
I do think it's better when the directors and the writers of the television shows have a strong understanding of the source material. I know that the two guys who made the last seasons didn't read the books.
Well,
or didn't care about the books.
They didn't care for the books, but also there's only, I think, a total of 3 books out, and they were waiting for book 4. But
well, it was the only one, the only seasons that weren't based on. So there was no source material to pull from, so you're not going to be able to. You can't expect a pair of Hollywood writers. It was Benioff and Weiss.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to expect people who just are your average everyday Hollywood writer, no matter how good they are, to write a television show at the same caliber as the as the George R.R. Martin books, right? Because those books are phenomenal, are phenomenons in culture. So I can't expect two guys to come in and make 2 seasons of a show that will be able to live up to the caliber of the books that the original seasons were based on. I wouldn't expect that of them.
Well, like, also during that time, they were trying to make an AI, like, write the rest of the books for him. But they said the AI did it terribly because, like, it included characters that already died.
Well, that just proves to you that AI is not ready to take over the world yet.
Yeah.
I don't. In general, do you think that this is going to be my theory was always that the next golden age of television and movies will be video game movies.
I think
somebody
so.
will crack a formula. Well, Sonic did it well, but somebody will crack a formula to make adult themed, because Sonic is still in the end is still a kid's property, right? It's a PG
But look
movie.
at Resident Evil. That was one of the stepping stones too.
Yeah, but
Silent Hill?
it's not like those movies are regarded as pieces of high art.
It's not, but, like, still, it was, like, one of the stepping stones of, like, video game movies. There was, like, Mario Brothers.
The original Tomb Raider is probably still the best video game movie.
That is true. I love that movie.
The original Tomb Raider is a freaking masterpiece. If you ever want to watch something really funny, watch Chris Stuckman's review of Tomb Raider.
Come on, you didn't like Doom with The Rock?
No, I did not like Doom.
I didn't.
I think I saw about 10 minutes of Doom, and that was based on, like, people's opinions of it, so I was already going into it with a negative take. Plus, I'm from the generation of Doom. Like, I'm from that generation of people who played Doom, so.
Well, have you played Mass Effect?
No.
Okay.
I've played Fallout.
Oh.
Yeah. But
ooh, imagine a Fallout game.
No, that's what there's. Well,
wait, which Fallout?
Look at right here.
Not a Fallout game, movie.
That's what they're talking about right here. So they're producing that as well, and it says BioWare's Mac Walter said in June that the TV show is a natural fit for Mass Effect. If you're going to tell a story that's as fleshed out as Mass Effect TV, TV is the way to do it. So what they're saying is that there's so much story in these games that movies don't really make sense.
Yeah, especially like Mass Effect and Fallout. Like, Fallout has different series. Like, that's why I asked you which one did you play. Like, I know Mike Burnsfire, he plays the Las Vegas version.
It's
and that one's okay.
To me, I don't know if they're going to be ready in time. Like, I don't trust these studios to do it. I don't trust these studios to make these products well anymore.
Oh, well, what about
the movie studio? I don't trust Amazon to do these well.
Well, Amazon did Invincible really good, but that's not a comic. It's a comic book TV show. It's not a game TV show.
Yeah.
But I liked it. Like, it was really good, and it was also animated. It was, like, basically it has a new twist.
Yeah.
With, like, how we view superheroes. Same thing with The Boys, Amazon. It's based on a comic book series too. That was really good.
Yeah, but that's comics, not games. Like, I'm waiting to see there's going to be a Last of Us TV show as well.
I'm waiting for that.
With Pedro Pascal. That if that one turns out well, maybe you have more faith.
What about The Walking Dead? That's based on a video comic, but then video game.
The later seasons?
Yeah. Well, it's like a mobile game. Like you can play any.
I've
character.
never played the game.
Oh, I did. I thought it was okay. And then there was like the Telltale versions of the game where you play. What's her name? The lady with the machete.
Michonne.
Yeah, Michonne. Yeah. Like they're the latest one. You play as her, and like she. Like if you know the background of the character, like she loses her kids, like she's looking for her kids, but she can't find them, and like basically
so many of these shows I've given up on in later seasons. Like I gave up on The Walking Dead after.
Well, I like watching the Telltale series because it's basically pick your own adventure games, and like Batman did it too.
Yeah,
Batman did it. There was another walking game that did it, and then there was like. I forgot what it was called, but it was like a twist on fairy tales. Like you play as a detective who's the big bad wolf, and he's like looking for a murderer. Oh. And like Ariel's a stripper.
I've never done those. I've never played those.
Oh, it's really fun. Like they're so aesthetically pleasing because it's more like grim and like really brooding and like everything's like a darker tone. That's what I liked about it. And like the art style, I can't describe it.
It's a game, not a okay.
It's a game.
I was thinking Gotham by Gaslight.
No. But basically it's really aesthetically really pleasing. I love them. I wish they produced more. I think they do. I just haven't like kept up with them. But it's just like I feel like they can. If like video games, like if you can play them and they feel like a movie, I feel like
they'll resonate with kids more these days because kids aren't reading comics anymore. They're playing video games.
But they're playing Roblox.
What do you mean?
Like the younger generation? Like what generation are you talking about?
I'm saying kids far younger than me. Like your generation and younger aren't reading comics. They're playing video games.
That's true. But you remember the book fair?
My generation played video games, but none of those have really been adapted well to movies.
Super Mario Bros.
I would say, like, oddly enough, the best is probably GoldenEye, which was a movie that got turned into a video game, not the other way around.
Yeah. Well, that's true. But I don't know.
Resident Evil goes in the same kind of the same. I had an example I was going to make earlier. Resident Evil is kind of like the Fast and the Furious. You'll put it on in the background, but you're not really necessarily invested in the movies.
That's true.
Nobody went and saw Raccoon City
because nobody asked for it.
Like nobody has faith that these products are going to be made well. I know. I don't play games anymore, but I watched the review for Resident Evil for what was it, 7 that just came out, and the games are still getting strong reviews from a lot of people.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing with Final Fantasy.
Yeah. Like,
I don't know what number they're at anymore, but I feel like the movie and TV show industry, especially Amazon, I feel like they could do it. Okay. Well, I feel like they could do it.
Then you have faith in it. We'll place our bets. I have more faith in Amazon than I do in Netflix to ever be able to pull something like that off.
Well, I'm saying only Amazon.
Yeah.
I'm only saying Amazon. Yeah. That's the only company that I'll place a bet on.
Probably, because when you think about it, Hulu is just Disney. Disney, I would have no faith to pull off any type of video game. I don't know who's producing Uncharted, but I have no faith that that's going to come out well.
But it has Tom Holland. Give him credit.
Tom Holland is coming into his own as a fantastic actor. Doesn't mean that the script will be good. But in general, you're probably, oddly enough, you're probably right. Of the streaming platforms, at least, not movie studios.
Yeah.
Amazon probably would be the best, the most likely to pull off something like that. So I stand corrected on that. You're probably right.
Yeah, because like I already listed like 2 good shows from them.
Yep.
The Boys and Invincible.
Yep. I never saw Invincible.
It's so good.
I get recommended it by somebody like at least once a week still.
It's so good, especially like the scene where like Omni-Man, like he grabs like one of the guys that's supposed to be like their version of Batman.
Yeah.
Oh no, the Flash. He like grabs him from the head and like he's squeezing it, and the guy's like punching him really fast, but it's not like doing anything because he's still squeezing it. And then the face pops and like you see eyeballs like flying out.
I should check it out. It's one of those ones that I don't often regret not seeing things. Like a lot of times I'm like, well, what am I supposed to, like, you just don't have the time. But this is one that I still keep hearing so much about.
Because it's so good, like, because it's like a weird twist. And I watched like a bunch of reviews, like what's going to happen in season 2. So if you're not
when is season 2?
They never announced it.
No announced date yet?
No.
Okay.
Nobody announced it yet, so I'm excited for it. But The Boys, they're going to come out with season 3, which I'm really excited for. And they just came out with like a trailer for their animated series.
Yep, I saw that.
Yep. I'm so excited for it. Like anything like comic book related that's not from Marvel or DC, I'm so excited for.
Well, that's the way things are going with the success of like Boom Studios in IDW. Well, not IDW,
well,
but with Boom.
They kind of ruined the Umbrella Academy because like
Netflix, right?
Yeah, Netflix. And also Elliot Page.
Anything Netflix ends up, just in my opinion, very rarely going right. But a lot of the other ones, like The Gifted, I didn't like. Most of them, like I don't expect the TV shows to turn out well. Anything on the CW is garbage, especially after Arrow season 3, except for Superman and Lois, which I'm still loving. But
what else? Well, I like the animated movies, like the dark universe of DC, where they had like John Constantine in it. I was like, yes, I will stand for you.
Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.